Okay, so when you're ready, we're going to start lying down today. So if you take yourself to your mat, when you come to lie down, if you want to, you don't particularly have to, but you can have the soles of your feet together. So we're in reclined butterfly. And then if it feels okay, you could take your arms overhead. So that kind of opens up through the chest and through the hips as well. But, you know, see how that feels. If it feels too much for your low back, then just bring your hands back over. And if it feels too much with the legs open, then you can always have your legs long. So whatever really suits you. So just taking a few moments just at the start of class, just coming away from your morning and just beginning to draw your attention inward. Start to be aware of your breath, just as it moves in and out through your nose. As your breath starts to even out, begin to notice your body, just how it feels. Maybe noticing any areas of tightness. Try and allow that just to soften down a little bit. So in today's class, we're going to do a practice in Pratyahara. And Pratyahara is the fifth limb of yoga. So it is really the removal of the senses. So that whole idea of drawing yourself inwards and using kind of internal landscape of yourself rather than relying on our senses. So to practice that today, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes from time to time. So you might have your eyes closed now, and it's kind of no big deal, but when we're standing, it becomes a little bit more important to us, either to have the eyes open or closed. So just inviting you, you don't have to close your eyes at any point, and you might just do it for a second and then open them again. Just seeing how that changes our practice, and sometimes it gives us a little bit more feeling of peace and calm if we do close our eyes. So we'll start to move a little bit. So you can bring your arms back down, so your hands are by your sides. And if you still have your knees wide, then use your hands and just press the knees back together. And then if you separate your feet hip distance, we're going to come in for a little moving bridge just to warm up through your spine. So you can have your hands on the ground, maybe turn your palms so they're facing up towards the ceiling, so you're not tempted to use your arms here. Take a deep breath in, and then we're going to start to tilt the pelvis a little bit and just start to press through your feet and lift your hips up. So take your time, just get that feeling of peeling your back up off the ground. Take a breath in at the top. And then as you exhale, just slowly start to lower down. So one little tiny piece of your spine lowers to the ground at a time. So just taking your time moving through it. Inhale when you get to the bottom. And then on your exhale, start to rise back up again. So start to move in your own way, at your own time. So when you're moving up, move to where it feels right to you. Take an inhale at the top. And again, just in your own time, so using your own breath. Exhale to slowly lower. Okay, we'll do that one more time. So again, just taking your time, taking that inhale at the bottom. Exhale to lift up. Inhaling at the top. And exhale, slowly release all the way back down again. Okay, so when you get to the bottom, you're going to draw your knees towards your chest. And when you come in, you could take your hands either on top of your knees or on your shins. So you come in for Apnasta. So again, as you do this, just work at your own pace. So as you inhale, we'll start to draw the knees in and lift your tailbone a little bit off the ground to get a nice stretch through the lower back and hips. And then on the exhale, just slowly release back down again. So we'll do that again. This time, maybe lifting your upper body as well. So you could draw your nose up towards your knees as you draw your knees in. Just see how that feels. And then on that exhale, just slowly releasing all the way back down. Again, start to move at your own pace. And work in your own way. Again, there's quite easy poses to keep our eyes closed in, so you could see if it changes the experience for you. We'll do one more of these, so just take your time. And then when you release back down, you can take the hands behind the back of your thighs. So if you want to roll over onto your side and come up, you can. If you just want to roll up, then do that. Or maybe take a few of these rolls. So just rolling back and rolling forwards, just along the length of your spine. And then just when you're ready, start to make your way up to the sitting position. So we're going to come to all fours now. So we'll make our way around. So you're going to bring your hands under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. So we're going to start with a little circle here. So we'll move up and over your wrists, and then taking your hips back towards your heels. And then if you want to, we're going to change this so it becomes more a figure of 8. So we move over the wrist on the diagonal, move back, and then move hip to hip. Again, just moving in your own way, just breathing, taking your time. And then if it feels okay, start to change and move in the opposite direction. So just moving, and breathing is fine, so don't worry too much about it. But if you can, change into that. And when you're ready, we'll just come back towards the middle again. So just coming in towards the center. As you come in, we're going to take it into Anahatanasana, so our melting heart pose. So we'll walk the hands forward, try and keep your knees over your hips, and then just start to sink down through the upper body. So just pressing gently towards the mat. Without feeling you have to get anywhere, so just see how it goes. When you're ready, we'll come back up again, so take your time again, just walking yourself back up. Walk your hands back in so they're underneath your shoulders again. And we're going to take a little cat-cow. So as you inhale, just dropping your belly, pull the chest forwards. And then on the exhale, we'll just round through the upper back and shoulders. And we're going to do that again, but we're going to change it a little bit. So as you inhale, we'll drop the belly and lift the chest. But on the exhale, we're going to tuck the toes and we're going to lift the hips up. The downward facing dog. Again, you could just stay with the cat-cow if you want to. Lift your heels up and lower your knees all the way back down. So we'll do that again. So inhale, drop the belly, lift through your chest. We'll do the rounding first. So just round your back, coming into that cat pose. Inhale again, back into that cow. And then on the exhale, we'll tuck the toes and lift the hips to downward facing dog. Okay, we'll do that one more time through. So again, lift your heels up, lower your knees back down towards the ground. When you're ready, inhale, drop the belly, start to lift the chest forwards. When you exhale, just round your back. So push the mat away, maybe bring your chin to your chest. Inhale, drop the belly and lift the chest. And on the exhale, tuck the toes and lift the hips, downward facing dog. So we'll stay in this down dog this time, so you might want to separate your feet a little bit more, you might want to move a little bit, so bending into one leg and then the other. Maybe move your hips a little. Maybe close your eyes and just see how it changes the experience for you. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. We'll lift the heels up. This time though, we're going to walk your feet just up towards your hands. So take your time. When you get to the top, separate your feet hip distance. Just let the body just fold towards your legs. So bending into your knees. Now today we're going to take your hands and interlink your fingers behind your back. So you just take them behind your back, just take the hands together. And then maybe start to lift your arms over a little bit. Just see how that feels. And the knees are still soft. A little stretch in your shoulders. When you're ready, release your hands down. We'll stay here, but we're going to either take your hands onto your legs or to the floor, whatever you can reach. And we're just going to bend into your right leg a little bit more so we can start to straighten out through that left leg, just to stretch the hamstrings. And then we'll change sides, so bending into your left leg, just straighten the right leg. You don't have to fully straighten it, but just work the muscles a little bit more. Do that again, so bend your right leg, maybe straighten the left leg a little. And then one last time, so just bending into that leg. Okay, when you're ready, bend both legs. And then lengthen forward. So on the inhale, just stretch, maybe move your hands up your legs as you do that. As you exhale, just fold back in towards your legs. On the inhale, we'll reach up, so rise all the way up to the top. But on the exhale, we're going to fold all the way back down again. So just take your time, maybe bending into your knees as you lower back down. So when you get to the bottom, we'll take that handhold behind the back again, so interlink your fingers. Maybe change your grip, so you move one finger up, so it feels a little bit different. And then maybe bring your arms over again. And just see how that feels. Keep the knees bent. Good. When you're ready, release your hands once more. So again, we'll do that little knee bend. So hands on the legs, hands on the ground, on a block we do here. But bending into your right leg, just gently straighten through the left leg a little. So do that again, so change sides, bend the left leg. Do that again, so bending into your right leg. And last time, bending into the left leg. Okay, again, bend both legs a little. And as you inhale, lengthen forward, so stretch through your spine. On the exhale, just fold back into your legs. As you inhale, reach up, so rise all the way up. And on the exhale, we'll just fold all the way back down one last time. Okay, when you get there, lengthen on the inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to step back with your right leg. Now we're moving into this runner's lunge position as you come in, but you could lay your back knee down on the ground if that feels better to you. Try and make sure that your knee is over the ankle on the front leg, and you're either up on blocks or you're up on your fingertips at the front. Now we're going to do cat-cow here. So as you inhale, we're going to drop the belly and start to pull the chest forwards. And then on the exhale, we're going to round through your upper back and shoulders. So we'll do that again. So inhale, drop the belly, start to pull your chest through. And then on that exhale, pull your belly in and round through your back. Okay, we'll do that one more time. So inhale, drop the belly, lift your chest. Exhale, round in. Now from there, come back to the center, so just a more kind of neutral position. And then we'll lay down through that back knee. So just lower your back knee to the ground, maybe flatten out your toes. And then as you inhale, we'll start to lift up through your chest. Good. Okay, from there, we're going to reach the arms up. And then maybe, you don't have to, you can keep your arms quite wide, your elbows bent, but maybe you can bring your hands together and then take a little back bend. But just see how that feels without feeling like you have to go there. Okay, when you're ready, slowly release both hands all the way back down towards the mat. From there, tuck your toes under on the back leg, so lift your knee, and then step to plank. As you get to plank, lower your knees straight away if you would like, or hold there for a moment. And then we are going to lower to the ground. So again, with the option of lowering your knees first, bend your elbows, lower all the way down, take your time. Okay, when you get there, we'll flatten out the feet. Move your hands under your shoulders. So take a deep breath in and then start to lift up. So just through your chest a little bit. Maybe you draw your shoulders back. Now you can stay there, or maybe you lift your hands up off the ground. So again, just see how that feels. Maybe stretch your arms forwards. I haven't got much room, but stretch them out. And then maybe pick up your feet. Just see how it all goes. You can always release down if it feels too much, or bring your hands in. Take one more breath. And then slowly release everything back down. So you can bring your arms in front of you and drop your head down and just relax there for a moment. Just breathing. Okay, when you're ready, we'll make our way back up. So we'll move the hands underneath your shoulders. Start to press up, just onto your knees first of all, and then walk your knees in. So as you come in again, you might want to make little movements here, so you can move forward and back, any little movements that you feel right. From there, we'll tuck the toes and we'll lift the hips and we'll press back to downward facing dog. So again, spread your hands, push up and into your shoulders, maybe close your eyes. Okay, from there, on your next inhale, we'll just lift the heels up. And again, you can step or walk up towards the top, so take your time. When you get there, we'll lengthen forwards again, so stretching through your spine. As you exhale, just fold back in. On the inhale, reach up, rise all the way up. And on the exhale, we'll just fold all the way back down towards your legs one more time. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to inhale again, so lengthen your spine. And on the exhale, we'll step back with your left leg. So again, as you step back with that left leg, please feel free to put your knee on the ground if that helps you. So hands on blocks or up onto your fingertips just to give you a little bit more space. So that cat-cow again. So as you inhale, start to drop the belly down and lift your chest forwards. So stretching through your spine. And on the exhale, pull your belly in, round your back, maybe bring your chin to your chest. Do that again, so inhale, lower down, lift your chest up. And on the exhale, pull the belly in and round your back. Good, do that one more time, so inhale, drop down, lift your chest. Exhale, rounding in. Well done, move back to the center. So again, this time, lower through your back knee, so maybe flatten out in your toes. And then start to rise up, so pull your belly in. Make sure your knee is still over the ankle in that front leg. Reach the arms, maybe keeping your arms bent a little bit, or bring the palms together and start to lean back a little bit into that back bend. But just if it feels nice, if it doesn't feel great, then leave it out. Okay, when you're ready, we'll slowly release the hands all the way back down again. When you get there, we'll tuck the toes, we'll start to lift through that back knee. And then we'll step back to plank. Again, as soon as you get to plank, the knees can go down. You might hold it for a moment. And then again, to lower down, you might lower your knees first. So you might just bend your elbows and slowly lower yourself down. Okay, flatten out your feet. Draw your hands back in under your shoulders. Draw the shoulders back and down. As you inhale, just that little baby cobra. So lift up, draw the shoulders back. And you might just stay here with the hands on the ground. Maybe you stretch your arms out to the front and maybe you pick up your feet. But just see how it all feels. Breathe. Okay, one more big breath. And then slowly release everything back down. So cross your arms over, drop the legs down, drop your head down. Well done. Okay, we'll start to rise back up again. So move your hands under your shoulders. Start to press up onto your knees. Walk your knees forward. Again, the knees are underneath the hips, hands under the shoulders. Maybe you move a little bit. Maybe sway your hips side to side. Okay, from there, we'll tuck your toes and we'll start to lift the hips to downward facing dog again. So take your time moving in. Spreading the hands, spreading the toes. Maybe close your eyes. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. We'll lift the heels, looking forwards, either step or walk to the top, so take your time. Good, when you get there, lengthen forward, so stretch your spine and move your hands up your legs. And then folding back in towards your legs. As you inhale, reach up, so rise all the way up. And this time on the exhale, we'll bring the palms together in front of your heart. So maybe closing your eyes down, and this time we close our eyes down just to kind of bring our attention inwards and notice the sensations we create. Notice the breath, and also where your mind moves to. Okay, well done. Okay, we'll open the eyes, release your hands. So we're going to combine our balance and our standing sequences today. So if you need to at any point come away from it and use the wall, then please feel free to do so. And I will give you some options, so it won't all be balance and you can take it out and step into it in any way you want. We're going to start up towards the top of your mat. Again, you can separate your feet or you can have your feet together. It's up to you. We'll relax the shoulders down your back, lengthen through the legs and draw your belly in. So as you inhale, we'll reach up with the arms. So maybe you look at your thumbs. Again, sometimes our eyesight is really important in yoga, our gaze, our drishti. And on the exhale, we'll fold towards your legs and maybe bending into your knees as you come down. As you inhale here, lengthen your spine. And on the exhale, we're going to step back with your right leg to high lunge. So the right foot goes back. And again, sort your feet out before you come up. So have your feet quite wide apart. And then as you inhale, maybe start to lift up. Again, when you get up here, you could lower your back knee. So you have to have that back knee lifted if it doesn't feel right. But knee over the ankle on the front leg, and we'll reach up with the arms. So again, the arms are nice and soft. The shoulders draw back, the chest opens. Breathe. And maybe in this position, if you don't feel that balanced, then I wouldn't do it. But if you feel pretty balanced, you could try closing your eyes and just see how that feels. And maybe even just for a moment, and then open them back up again. So just see how it goes without feeling that you're kind of forcing yourself. Okay, so the second of our balance, because this is a balance, even though we're on both feet, we're going to bring the hands towards the center. So your option here on the next one is just to step your right foot up towards the top. If you can though, we're going to lift so your right knee lifts. So we bring it back to the top and we lift through your right knee. So just see how that goes. If you need to take it to the ground, then take it to the ground. Then we're going to come in for a half chair for our balance. So we're going to flex that right foot and place it on the left thigh. If that doesn't work for you, place your foot either on a block or just on the floor will do as well, or any position in between. So the idea with the half chair is we bend into the left leg. So you're going to bend into it and sit into it like you were sitting in a chair. Just see how that feels. Keep flexing through your right foot and keep pressing back through that right knee. Try and keep your chest up, so rather than leaning forward, the chest lifts and we sink into it. Good, and breathe. So focusing on your breath and your eyesight is very important here. So we keep our eyes open and we create our drishti or our gaze. So moving into a position of stillness with that. And breathe. Well done. We'll take one more deep inhale. If you'd like to, you can just place your right foot on the ground now. Or if you can manage, we're going to lift up through your right knee. And then we're going to extend it back into that high lunge. So the same position you were in before. So we reach behind us and we find our high lunge again, that crescent lunge. And if you want to, you could reach back up with your arms. But again, just see how that feels. So we're pushing away in the back heel. We've got the knee over the ankle and the front leg. Breathing deeply. Well done. Now from there, we're going to come in for a twist. So again, just move in your own way. But if you can, take your right hand down. And then the left hand can either go on your left knee or you reach and open with your left hand to come into that little twist. Again, see how it feels. And your back knee can be on the ground. So you could lower your back knee first, still have that right hand down, and then left hand on your left knee or reaching open. So work with the position that feels right for you and best for you. Well done. We'll take one more deep inhale. Slowly release both hands towards the ground. And we're going to come into warrior two here. So if your back knee is off the ground, then you're fine. If not, lift your back knee off the ground. Maybe move your hands to the inside of that left foot. And then start to turn so your heel of that back leg, that right heel goes down. and then start to lift your body up and open up into warrior two. Good, but take your time, move in your own way. And when you get there, try and open up a little bit through this front knee and also open up through your right hip. Reach with your arms. And remember, our gaze at our drishti now is along the front hand with the chest open, breathing deeply. And then maybe you close your eyes just for a moment. Some of the advantages of Pratyahara, closing our eyes, withdrawing the senses, is that we can envisage a perfectly aligned warrior two, whatever that means. And then maybe what our mind sees, our body can then put into action. Okay, we'll open the eyes. Now we're going to stay in warrior two legs, but we're going to use Garudasana arms, so our eagle arms. So if you want to, your right arm can come underneath the left. You could grab your shoulders here. So our body is now at the front of the posture and we're still opening the legs wide. And then if you want to, take your right hand round and grab hold of your left forearm or your left hand. Maybe lift the arms up a little bit, but keep moving through the warrior two. So keep the legs pressing open, get the hips opening up. Maybe close your eyes, but see how it feels. It feels a little bit off balance here because you've changed your arms, but you could close them just for even a millisecond. Okay, when you're ready, we'll slowly release your arms. So stretch them back out, so as if you're in warrior two. And then we'll release the hands down. You can give your shoulders a little roll. We're going to move to warrior one. So your back foot, you probably have to hop it in an inch or two. And then turn the toes of your back foot towards the front foot. And realign your hips and shoulders so they're now towards the front. And rebend into that leg a little bit more. So again, when you get there, if you want to, you could keep your hands down, or maybe you reach the arms up. Again, the arms can be slightly bent and can be wide. Again, if you want to take that back bend, bring your hands together and then lean back a little bit. Again, just see how it feels without forcing it or moving into the back bend if you don't want to do it. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale and then slowly release the hands down. You can relax your shoulders. Okay, from there, we'll bend into that front leg again. And if you can manage, we're going to turn onto the toes of your back leg. So you're coming into that lunge position one last time. We'll take the hands down towards the ground. And we're just going to step your back foot up towards the top. So as you step up, we'll keep the feet wide to about hip distance and fold towards your legs a little. But when you're there, if you want to, you could grab a block and just have your hands on the block. If your hands are not near the ground, you can always use your legs as well and just place your hands on your thighs or your shins here. If your hands are easily down, then maybe take a little bind. So the two-piece fingers hook to the inside of your big toe, and then the thumb comes round and connects them. And then the elbows bend, and we draw ourselves in a little bit more. Again, just see how it feels and relax wherever you are for a moment. And closing the eyes in these more inward gazing poses is quite advantageous as well. Okay, we'll start to come back up so you can release your hands and then lengthen forwards on your inhale. So maybe move your hands up your legs again. Fold forward as you exhale. And then we'll reach up and rise all the way up. And then we'll just bring the palms together in front of your heart. Again, maybe close your eyes, just see how you feel after that one side, how that side of your body feels in comparison to the other. Okay, we'll try it on the other side. We'll see how it goes. So it could feel completely different, you never know. And again, just adjust the balance postures to suit you. So spreading your toes, feet together or apart. Relax your shoulders. Inhale, reach up. So again, maybe look up. Exhale, fold. Lengthen on the inhale. And we'll step back with your left leg. to that high lunge position. Again, with the option of lowering your knee down, so you don't ever have to lift up to that high lunge. If you want to though, start to lift the body up. So just pulling your belly in, maybe reaching up with your arms. Again, when you get there, try and relax through your shoulders. Bend your back knee. Have your back knee on the ground if that feels better to you. Maybe close your eyes. A little bit tougher for me on this side to shut my eyes. I think I'll keep them open. Okay, we'll bring the palms together in front of your heart. So we're going to step up with your left foot. So if you want to just step to the top, then do that. Otherwise, step up and lift through that left knee. So again, you could just bring it to the ground if that suits you better. So with the left knee lifted, we'll flex the foot and we'll place it maybe on the right thigh. Maybe you take it to a block or to the ground. The important thing is you start to bend into that right leg. And again, if you've got your foot, that left foot is flexed and the left knee gently presses away. Chest stays up, hips sink down, belly in. You will take one more deep inhale. Start to come up. So again, you can always just put your left foot on the ground. If you can though, start to lift through that left knee again. So lift it high and then step all the way back into that high lunge. So take your time as you step back. Well done. Now from there, we're going to come into that little twist. So again, if you want to, you could lower your back knee. You can put your hands on the ground first. Otherwise, we'll take that left hand down to the ground and then we'll reach up, either with the right hand on the right knee or the right arm reaches up towards the sky. And as you do that, try and align your arms and try and align your shoulders as much as you can. So again, the back knee can be on the ground and then you bring your right hand down, left hand down even, right hand onto your knee or right arm reaching up into that twist. Good. Breathe deeply. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. And then again, we're going to come into warrior two. So we'll place both hands on the ground. If you've got your back knee on the ground, then lift it up. And then maybe walk your hands to the inside of that right foot. Spin on the heel of the back leg. You might have to hop it in a little bit, just adjust it. And then start to rise up into warrior two. So opening up as you come up. Reach through your fingers, draw your shoulders back, try and open up through the hips a little bit. Maybe you sink a bit more into your legs, but just see how that feels. So look along your front hand to start, and then maybe you should close your eyes, but still keep your head kind of along that front hand. Well done. So from here, we're going to come in for these Garadasana arms. Again, you don't have to do them. You could just stay here. But left arm underneath the right this time. Take hold of what you can. So binding once, binding twice. Maybe lift up through your elbows a little bit more. So the elbows should be in line with your shoulders and then the wrists align with your elbows. Again, the body and the head is towards the middle. And we're still extending through your hips and sinking into these warrior two legs. Well done. Okay, take one more deep inhale. Slowly release your arms. So we'll make our way back to warrior two first, just for a breath there. And then release your arms down. You can give them a little roll. So we'll step in with your back foot. So we're moving to warrior one. So step it in a little bit, turn the toes. And then start to rotate your shoulders and your hips towards the front. Bend more into that leg, but keep your weight pretty even. And then maybe reach back up with your arms. Again, if it doesn't feel right with the arms up, keep them down. Maybe bend your elbows or maybe palms together. And then start to lean back a little bit into that back bend without force and without straightening your front leg. So keep your front leg bent as you do that. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. We'll slowly release the hands back down again. And again, if you can, we're going to turn onto the toes of the back leg. So we're just moving into that high lunge. If you can, it doesn't matter, you can still get up to the top. So hands go down to the ground, and then we'll step up towards the top of your mat again. So bending in that back leg, just step up. Feet, again, a little bit apart. So maybe hip distance, maybe slightly wider than hip distance. So hands on a block, maybe on your legs. Or maybe this time, if your hands are easily down, pick your feet up. Place the hand, palm up, underneath your feet. And press the feet back down again. Again, the knees can be bent here. And don't force it. If it doesn't feel like the right thing for you, then don't worry about it. Belly pulled in, the hips are high. Well done. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. When you're ready, if you've got your hands on top of you, or your feet on top of your hands, then take them out, release them. Lengthen forwards on your inhale, so move back up a little bit. And then on the exhale, we'll take the hands down and we're going to step all the way back into that plank position once more. Because we're going to lower all the way to the ground. So when you get there, lower your knees if you'd like, or maybe just bend your elbows again, just slowly and carefully all the way down. Well done. Okay, you can release once you get there. So bring your arms round, drop your head down, relax for a moment. Just see how it feels. So when we have our eyes open, some of the times in class, and I'm as guilty as anybody of it, we can look round and think, oh my God, look at how far they've got. So we use that kind of judgment on both our own abilities and other people. So closing our eyes takes that judgment away. So, just bearing in mind that everybody is beautiful and unique, and we just move in our own ways, and that's, it's not really how we move, it's really the experience that we have as we move that's important to our practice. Okay, we're going to come in, we're going to do a little half bow practice. And again, there will be a little option to make it a little bit more challenging, but just do what feels right to you. So we're going to bend in through your right leg. So you're just going to bend your right foot in towards your buttock. And you could just keep that there. You could reach back if you can, grab hold of it with your right hand. Again, you don't have to. And then option-wise, you're going to keep your left hand where it is, and you're going to push your hip towards the ground, lift through your chest, and lift through your leg. Now, if you did want a little bit more, you could stretch your left arm in front, and then lift your left arm and your left leg up at the same time, so everything lifts up. But just see how that feels. Okay, we'll take one more breath, and then slowly just release everything back down again. Bring your arms round, drop your head down, and just relax there for a moment. Okay, we'll try the other side, see how it is. But again, you have to do that option of lifting the right arm and leg. You can keep your right arm on the ground. So we'll bend the left leg. Again, you might just reach back towards it. Maybe you grab hold of it. And then if you want to, just simply from there, just start to push your hip into the ground. Lift your chest a little bit so you can even use that right hand to lift up. Or maybe you stretch the right hand away, the right leg stretched away, and everything lifts up. So your thigh on both legs, chest, arms. Okay, one more breath. When you're ready, slowly release all the way back down. So bring your arms round, drop your head down, relax. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to make our way back up, but just to an all fours position. So if you have your hands under your shoulders, Start to press yourself up to all fours. When you come into all fours again, please feel free to make any movements. So, move your hips, maybe do a cat-cow, whatever really feels best to you as you move back into that. Now from here, we're going to come in, we're going to do Gomukhasana today, so a forward folding version of Gomukhasana. Gomukhasana doesn't suit everyone, so if it doesn't suit you, then don't worry, because after I've shown you how to get into Gomukhasana, then we'll do a half Gomukhasana version as well. So if you like Gomukhasana, you can come into it in your own way. Otherwise, the way that I come into it, if you move your left leg forwards a little bit, so you just walk it forwards, and then your right leg just hooks behind the back of it. So it's really quite a tight hook, so you have to press the back of the knee, or the front of the right knee into the back of the left knee. Before you come back, you have to widen your feet so that your hips can fit between them. And if you wanted to, you could grab a block or a cushion here and sit onto it. And then we just walk the hands back and we take a little seat. And then we're in our Gomukhasana legs. And from there, you can just fold towards your legs. Okay, but see how that feels to you. Now, if you wanted to do the half version, then we just bring the legs out in front, bending into the left leg, we take it over the right, and then we take the knees, stacking them so that the top knee is over the bottom knee, and then we move that left foot up the side of the right thigh, and then fold forward. And if you felt when you got there that you could move into Gomukhasana, you could just bend your right leg in, and you're there. Again, just see how that feels, the half version of it. Don't worry if your knee's high, it doesn't really matter. Just try and relax into it. So stretching through your hips. And maybe closing your eyes. Again, a lot easier to close your eyes here and to draw your attention inwards than when you're standing. Okay, when you're ready, we'll start to move back up, so take your time as you come out of it. So if you're in the half version, then just straighten both legs and bend your right leg in and take it up and over. And then again, stacking through your knees, fold forwards. Remember to move that left foot, right foot up the back, so it's a little bit closer to your left thigh. If you want to come back in with me, then we'll come back to all fours again. So just coming in. And this time your right knee will move forwards. That left knee hooks behind, so again, quite tight. Separate your feet quite wide, and then start to walk back and sit into it. Again, just whatever feels right to you. And once you're there, we'll fold towards your legs again. Taking your time, moving into it in your own way. Try and relax the head and the neck. And if it feels too much sensation, so if it feels bordering on pain, then come out of it. There's no point in making yourself miserable. It is a very intense stretch, so we have to expect a certain level of sensation, but we just have to temper that with what we feel is enough. Okay, when you're ready, we'll move back up, so take your time. And then we'll release the legs towards the front, so both of them. We'll do a nice circular forward fold. We'll do Paschimottanasana, which is a little bit more pleasant. So if you want to, you could sit in a block, you could grab a strap here and use that. But we'll sit forwards onto your sit bones a little bit more. Bend your knees if you need to. And as you inhale, we'll reach up with your arms. On the exhale, holding forwards. So maybe take hold of your shins, your ankles, your feet, whatever you can. And if you have got hold of your feet, you could take one of the binds that we did earlier, so you could hook your big toes again, or you could take hold of the soles of your feet if that's open to you. Just see how it feels. And remember, we're trying to lengthen through your spine, so you should feel the stretch all the way from your hips up through your back. And if you fail to feel it there, if your hamstrings are really tight, you might not, then bend your knees a little bit and take that out of the hamstrings and more into your spine, if that feels nice. Okay, when you're ready, we'll start to move back up. So if you've got any binds, just release them, slowly rise back up again. Well done. We're going to come onto your mats now, onto your back. And we're going to do a little bridge, but not a moving one, just a static one. So you could make it more restorative if you want with a block. Otherwise, we'll make our way down. And when you get onto your back, if you bend your knees, feet hip distance, and heels quite close in. And again, we'll have the hands so that the palms are just facing upwards. Take a deep breath in, and then start to lift through your hips again. So just moving up to any position here. So again, if you want to use a block, then lift your hips, place the block underneath, and lower your hips to rest on the block. Otherwise, the hips move up towards the sky, and our thighs pulling towards one another a little bit. And if you are on your shoulders, then maybe start to move the shoulder blades underneath your back and clasp your hands again. But again, just if that feels right. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. When you're ready, if you have your hands clasped, slowly release them and start to slowly lower yourself all the way back down again. When you get to the bottom, maybe widen your feet, so as wide as your mat, and just allow the knees just to drop towards one another. When you're ready, we'll separate the knees and walk the feet back in. And we're going to do a little twist now, a recline twist, with the option of doing a wrap with the legs, so these Garudasana legs. So again, just see how it feels. If you'd rather just drop your legs over towards the right side, then do that. Otherwise, we're going to lift up through your left leg, and we're going to cross it really high over the top of your right thigh. And again, that might be enough. You can just then drop your legs to the right. Otherwise, we'll take that left foot and we'll wrap it behind the back of your right calf. So again, see how it feels. If it doesn't feel that right, then don't do it. Now, before you go, you might want to push through your right foot and nudge your hips just a tiny little bit to the left, and then drop your legs over towards the right side, looking along your left hand. Again, if it feels too tight or too intense, unwrap your legs. When you're ready, slowly back to the center. And then just unravel your legs. Maybe moving your feet here so that you can pick your hips up and lay them back down so they're more even. So we'll come into the other side. So right leg lifts, cross it over that left thigh. Maybe that's enough, or maybe you wrap your foot around the back of your left calf. So again, pressing through your left foot, nudge your hips to the right a little bit and drop both legs over towards that left side.
Okay, when you're ready, we'll slowly move back towards the centre. So again, as you come back in, just unraveling the legs one more time. We'll draw the knees towards your chest now. So have your knees quite wide here. So we're going to come in for a happy baby. So draw the knees wide. Maybe take your hands behind the back of your thighs or maybe the back of your calves. Maybe you flex your feet and lift them up and move your hands up towards maybe you hook the big toes or take hold of your feet, whatever feels right. And then once you're there, maybe start to just press down through your lower back and you can sway a little bit. You can straighten the legs. You can make any movements that you like, really. Well done. When you're ready, we'll slowly release that. So slowly release the legs all the way back down once more. And then from there, we'll just take the soles of your feet together. So just letting the legs drop open once more. Maybe taking your arms overhead again, opening up through your chest a little bit more. Okay, from there, we'll slowly bring the arms back over. We're going to come into Shavasana now. So if you do want to put any socks or jumpers or anything on, then please do that. And then just make your way back in when you're ready. So just coming into a comfortable position. Start to pay a little bit of attention to your breath again. So lying comfortably so you can feel the spine lengthen. Feel the gentle curve in the low back, matched by the one at the base of your skull. Relax your shoulders and the feeling that you have to do anything right now. Feel the clothes on your skin and your body lying on your mat. Start to visualize a light of any color. It could be gold or blue, light or dark. Start to visualize this light forming in your belly. In Sanskrit, the word for the sun is Jyoti. Feel the light like the sun or Jyoti from within. Start to picture the light move through your body, into your chest and heart, down into your arms and fingers. The light now descends into your lower limbs, through your hips, your feet and your toes, filling you with warmth. See how the light moves into your mind and fills your head with sunlight. Let the light radiate outside your body into the room. As we lie here, the light starts to fill your room. See the light sift and filter its way outside of this room, into the wind and the trees, into the waterways and mountains, until it fills the entire planet.
The light is not selective. It moves its way through the world, touching and filling every being until the universe is one bright light. You are part of the light, and it is part of you. When you're ready, we'll take a deep inhale through your nose, and then we'll sigh it out your mouth. We'll do that again, so just deeply inhale. And then let it go. Start to move through your fingers and your toes. Maybe take your arms and just stretch them overhead, stretching all the way down to your feet. Start to bring the arms back over, and then if you'd like to, you can bend your knees, having your feet on the ground or knees to your chest. Just move a little bit. If you'd like to, you can roll over onto your side. And then we'll start to make our way up. So taking your time, maybe keeping your eyes closed. So find a comfortable seat when you're ready. Just bring the palms together, just in front of your heart. So leaving a little gap to signify an openness in your heart. So thank you so much for coming along and practicing with me this morning. I hope you enjoyed our Pratyahara practice. Namaste. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. I'll stop that recording. So you can unmute yourself if you like.